Welcome back to ICO Review. And we're actually going to recap over a company we've already covered, being Acorn Collective. Because we came across Acorn Collective a very long time ago in terms of the world of crypto. And the information that we have here on the channel is now really quite outdated, moving towards Acorn Collective's pre-sale. For those of you that aren't familiar with Acorn Collective, the idea here is to transform crowdfunding platforms by putting it onto the blockchain and putting it through the ICO process. So if you think about platforms like Crowdcube or Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, these sites, they charge in and around 5% for hosting a project or a cause or whatever it is that you are trying to fund, which of course, every business needs to make money. I said that in the original video. However, going through the ICO process will allow Acorn Collective to essentially have all of those fees pre-funded, which means whether you're funding a charitable cause or whether you're trying to start a business, etc., that extra 5%, especially for a startup business or for a sick individual, can go a long way. You raise $100,000, that 5% is $5,000. That is R&D for a business, or that is a little bit of quality of life for somebody that's trying to overcome a disease. So these things to me are significant, which are why we support Acorn Collective so much here on the channel. And secondly, being on the blockchain, as long as your country can legally access Bitcoin or exchanges or blockchain technology, you should be able to either A, participate, or B, host a cause to benefit your local area, whether it be the economy in the form of business, whether it be charitable causes, as long as that cause is legal. So it's a nice logical step in terms of disrupting the current crowdfunding paradigm. However, when we looked at these guys, there really wasn't much traction in and around the project. So first of all, let's have a look at how things have changed. So when we first looked at their Facebook, they were sitting at 2,645 likes on Facebook. And bear in mind, these numbers are all still pre-sale numbers, leading into pre-sale. So it's still technically, for an ICO, very early days for the platform, but they're up in 5 figures now, 10,731, which is where I would expect a decent ICO to be moving into pre-sale. Twitter, 6,352. Again, that is far better than the original 212 that we saw here in Acorn Collective back in November. The YouTube comparatively still isn't growing as much as the other platforms. However, the more I look at ICOs, the less important I believe the YouTube is for investor indication. But I do like to have it there just in terms of consuming content, getting to know the company, getting to know the team, mission statements, etc. And they have actually been producing videos at a really good rate. There's some great information that will allow you to get to know the team, get to know the mission statement. Every time there's a new team member, they introduce a new team member. I think it's a really nice touch just in terms of transparency and just getting to know the guys. It gives a degree of investor confidence. I certainly feel as though if the team is continuously putting themselves out there in public, it just goes to indicate that they are genuine, that they're here to stay, that they're actually trying to create a project. It lessens the degree of an exit scam, in my opinion. And now for probably the biggest indicator in ICOs and pre-ICOs, etc., is the Acorn Collective Telegram was in and around 68 members, if I remember correctly, when I joined, and it's now 682. So that is nice growth for a company that is entering pre-sale. But it's all well and good to have hype indicators on social media and be gaining crowd support. But when we're talking about an ICO that doesn't technically have a product yet, we need indications of what's going to be supporting that product, whether there are use cases that are being developed. We know the use cases theoretically. However, the other day, I went over this email in one of my update videos, projects that have lined up with Acorn Collective to be listed. So we've got exoskeleton that helps patients who have lost mobility in their hands to regain muscle strength in Birmingham in the UK, AI-based aircraft maintenance software, which will help improve efficiency of aircraft fleets around the world in Miami, Florida, and a baking school offering training to people facing economic hardship in the local community, which is actually happening in Lagos, Nigeria. You can already see with these projects coming on board with the Acorn Collective, the versatility of the things that you can fund. Going over to Lithuania, actually a family entertainment park, there is a severe lack of amusement parks and other leisure places in and around Europe. In 100 kilometers, we have 2 million inhabitants, and that's talking about, and then an Australian country music artist, actually. I'm an Aussie country music artist with quite a decent following. I'm constantly being asked when I will release new music / an album. I have to keep putting it off because I simply cannot afford it. So there we have another use case where budding musical artists can use the platform to help fund their projects and reach that next level of musical production and distribution. And then finally, a quite interesting project actually that is researching using mealworms as a low carbon footprint food source. And that's a project that could have interesting implications for large scale sustainable sources of nutrition. Though for as long as possible, I'll probably stick with a steak. So you can see that things are progressing quite well for Acorn Collective, whether it be social awareness or whether it be companies signing on to a platform that doesn't actually exist for the public yet. These things bode well for a project. So if you want to follow more or ask questions of the team, jump into the Telegram. The link will be in the description below for you all. And for something a little bit different, Jamie over at Koala has done an interview with the team that should be uploaded around about the same time as this video. So go over there and give him a visit. And the link to his interview, once it's uploaded, will be in the description and at the end of this video for you all. Pre-sale starts with a 50% discount in 9 days and 3 hours as of recording, which in my part of the world puts us on Monday the 29th. So for a lot of you, that will probably be Sunday 28th. But that's all I have for you on this one. I have been your crypto enthusiast, and I will see you in the next video.